I was prescribed Adderall years ago, and I felt like it helped me. But what I quickly realized was that it the effects wore off after a while. Like, it would work for a little bit and then it would stop working after taking it for a few weeks. And I even needed my medication adjusted and increased in order for it to work for me. So in this video, I'm going to actually share with you how I manage my ADHD without medication. Like, I don't take anything for medication for my ADHD symptoms, but I do things that are natural in nature. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to actually share with you 3 things that I take that have been an absolute game changer for me. So let us start. So when I was little, on my report cards, I would constantly get, like, my teacher would constantly put needs to pay attention. That was like every single report card my mom was just used to it. After a while, she was just like, whatever, it's just like any other day for her, because she was tired of hearing how I didn't pay attention. And my dad always used to say, like, listen to the teacher, with a very strong Cuban accent. And I don't know, I couldn't focus, I couldn't pay attention for the life of me. My mind would always wander. And I think we all do that. Like, I think we all sometimes have trouble paying attention. But I feel like, I know I'm sweating right now. It's so hot today. I think it's like close to 90 degrees. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do these videos in the summer outside. I'm probably going to have to shift to inside. But I digress. But I always had trouble paying attention ever since I was little, all the way up through middle school and high school. I honestly don't know how I graduated. I really don't, because it was just so hard for me to focus and concentrate. And, for the life of me, it was like torture to study and read something that I didn't really want to read. And I always had trouble with it. I would always get, like, on my report card, needs to pay attention. That was on every single report card, I think, all throughout my elementary school years. And I was an average student in middle school, and I was an average student in high school. Barely average in high school. I skipped a lot, but we could talk about that another time. But yeah, my arm is getting, like, heavy. Let me use the other arm. But so, I finally went to a doctor in my late 20s, and she prescribed me Adderall. And it did help. I mean, it was amazing. It really worked for me. I felt it was, I was just like, oh my God, this is life-changing. I can focus now. I was, like, when you hear things about people taking Adderall and, like, the stereotypical things that people will do, like organize their drawers and just, like, be really OCD about, like, cleaning things. And I was like that. I mean, I loved it. I was so excited to do the laundry. I was so excited to, like, organize my folders in my computer with, different files that I had. It was just, I loved it, But the effects wore off after a while. After a few weeks, the effects started to wear off. And I talked to my doctor and I was like, hey, I'm not feeling the same way that I felt before with the medication. I feel like it's just starting not to work as much. I'm feeling, like, a little bit less, like, amped up or excited to do things. And she said, well, the effects are wearing off. I'm going to have to adjust your medication dosage, and I'm going to have to increase it. And I was like, okay. I was happy. I was like, great. Okay, maybe I do need more. Maybe this dosage is not the right dosage for me. My body got used to it, but maybe I need a certain higher level of dosage. So then that started working. I was all, right back to it. Like, oh my God, like, organizing everything, feeling excited, to doing the most menial tasks. And after a few weeks, it started to wear off again. And then I went to her and she adjusted it again. And it was just like a cycle. And I was like, and then after a couple times of asking her to increase the dosage, she told me, she's like, I can't increase it anymore. Then she started to recommend, like, supplements and different things, and I don't know. And then so I just stopped taking it cold turkey. And it was, like, one of the hardest few weeks of my life. Because I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. The price I paid to come off of that drug was not worth the benefit it gave me. And so I realized that I needed to try something else. I needed to do something different in order for me to manage my symptoms and maintain my productivity and go somewhere in my life. So one of the things that I started to do was I started experimenting with green smoothies. I did some research, and apparently green smoothies have vitamin K, folate, and I think a little bit magnesium. There are other vitamins and minerals that help with memory and retention. So I would drink a green kale smoothie every single day. I've been doing it for years now, almost like 6 to 7 years. Every morning I will make a green smoothie. In fact, if I don't have my green smoothie in the morning, I just feel like off for the rest of the day. I just feel like, I don't know, I don't have no energy, I have no motivation. My day is not the same without my green smoothie. And everyone who knows me knows that I drink this every single day. And you're hearing a blender go off in the morning every 2 to 3 days, because I make enough for like 2 to 3 days. And so, yeah, I mean, living with me, every couple days you're going to hear that blender go off like there's no tomorrow. And I just love it. I mean, it gives me hydration. It gives me the vitamins and minerals. I think there's something about the chlorophyll or something, about the greens that it's just energizing. It's just completely energizing, and it helps me to focus more. So I highly recommend, if you have ADHD, one of the most powerful things you can do is to drink a green kale smoothie. Listen, I don't drink it for the taste, okay? In fact, even after a while, it is not an acquired taste. What I like to do, though, is I use, like a bag of organic kale, and I put like half of a banana, and I put pineapple juice, and then sometimes what I'll do is I'll put like mint leaves in it, like a few mint leaves to help with the taste. The mint kind of offsets it a little bit, and the pineapple juice offsets the kale. I wouldn't use orange juice or apple juice or, milk or something. I don't know. You could try. I mean, if that works for you, all power to you, but it's not palatable for me, and it's barely palatable with pineapple juice. So I can imagine drinking it with like almond milk or something. Ugh, God, I can't. No. In that case, I would suffer. I would choose to suffer and forget everything I just said. Anyway, so green smoothies, highly recommend. If you have ADHD, drink a green smoothie every single morning, and you can thank me later. Also, something too is like exercise. I used to go to the gym every single day and do cardio, but now I just walk. I walk 10 to 15 miles a day, and it's great for stress relieving. It's great for, mental clarity and focus. Like, I feel like walking, I have to walk every day. I mean, you might have seen, and if you've seen my videos, which I highly recommend you do, please go watch, and please support me, like and subscribe for more everyday life, wellness, well-being, your emotional, mental, physical well-being content. But in my other videos, you might have noticed that I'm walking. I actually chose not to walk today. I wanted to sit down because I've walked a lot so far, today so far. So I'm giving myself a break. But I will walk later, especially like the mornings and evenings, because here in Florida, my goodness, it's the middle of the day now and it's hot. So I think that's why I'm sitting down too, because it's, I'm not looking forward to July or August. That's a separate discussion anyway. But some sort of exercise, even if it's just walking every day, is something that really helps me. It gets the blood flowing. It just, it does something to helping you to focus too. So exercise is important. Regardless of whatever exercise it is, exercise is critical. If you haven't seen my other videos, I talked about my animals. I have, oh no, I don't think I uploaded this video, but maybe I will. But anyway, I have 3 bunnies, 2 green cheek parakeets. I have fish. I have a cat now. And every morning when I wake up, I have to feed them and clean out their water bowls. And it's just like I have a routine. Every morning I wake up, and then I make my coffee, or, if I didn't make my green smoothie, or if I ran out of green smoothies, I make, a batch more. And I have a routine every single morning, and I feel like routines are important. Routines in the morning, routines in the evening. It just, especially in the morning, like, it gets your mind going. Like, it gets you going into the mindset of like, okay, here's my day, here I'm going. Waking up and just laying around, it's, I shared in another video about bed rotting and how I feel like being on your phones and bed rotting is good for you every so often, within moderation, of course. But I would say not first thing when you wake up, because if you wake up and you're just on your phone, for me, that sets the tone for the rest of the day, and good luck getting me to do anything. So while editing, I realized I made a big mistake. I actually accidentally deleted the video where I was talking about the 3 things that I take that have been an absolute game changer for me. So I'm going to actually say that now and re-record that. But the 3 things that I take, and first I want to preface by saying that what I'm about to tell you, please make sure that you are in touch with your doctor, make sure that you've done your research, and if you decide to take it, you take it at your own risk. So these are supplements that I'm sharing with you that have helped me tremendously in terms of my mental cognition, my focus. Those 3 things, the first one is choline. Choline is actually something that helps with your memory, it helps with your brain functioning. The second thing is alpha GPC, which is kind of like in the same class of nootropics. And by the way, nootropics are, it's an umbrella term for substances that actually help mental cognition, memory, and mental processes. And then the third is phosphiditalserine. So choline, alpha GPC, phosphiditalserine. And I will have those in the video description if you want to do research on them. But these are things that I take in lieu of medication like Adderall and different types of, which really, Adderall is, I think it's similar. I don't know if this is true. Do you guys know if Adderall is in the same class of family as methamphetamines? I thought I read that somewhere, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I'm just sharing with you things that I've done that have helped me to move past some of my hurdles with ADHD that have been an absolute game changer for me. And you're talking about someone who was an average student in primary school, and I was also a almost below average student in high school. And now in college, I'm an honors student. I'm at the top of my class. I'm enrolled in the honors college, and I plan to graduate cum laude, which is a huge accomplishment for me personally. So these things have helped me tremendously, and I am telling you right now, if you think you could not do this, if you think you cannot go to college, if you think you lack the capacity to be able to focus on your goals and succeed and thrive, trust me when I'm telling you that, these things will help. But look, maybe they don't help you. I implore you to find what does. Experiment. Try to test out different things. Don't get discouraged, because you might try 10 things that don't work, but then you find one that does, and that one thing makes all the difference in the world. So don't give up. Try to find what works for you. Please do your research. And, again, please, whatever you do, always be in contact with your doctor or your therapist if you're seeing a therapist, or a psychiatrist if you're seeing a psychiatrist. Always be in contact with the medical professionals. But listen, I wish you nothing but the best of success, and you got this. And just know that I get you. I understand. I know the struggle of being with ADHD, how difficult it is. It's difficult for me to study and succeed in school. It's difficult for me to do this, to do videos, and much less try to come up with the video ideas. And I'm still learning how to edit and stuff. This is all very new for me, but I appreciate your support, which, by the way, please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe so you can follow me for more content that I plan to, do on life and, wellness, and, someone who struggles with ADHD, someone who's in recovery, myself, and that's a story I plan to share at some point. But your support, your liking, and subscribing to my channel would mean the world to me, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you. If you made it this far, I really want to thank you, and have a good one.